Hey guys, it's Pizza Cat here, and welcome to my beginner's guide to sailing in Sea of Thieves. I really hate long intros, so let's just get into it. Now we can start talking about parts of the boat. We're going to use the sloop as a reference, because it's a bit simpler than its bigger brother, the galleon. Now, starting off, there's a ladder on each side of the sloop. You can use one of them to climb on the boat. Then you'll notice that there are two cannons on the deck, one on each side. A mast in the center, which you can then use the ladder on to access the crow's nest. After that, check out the helm. Here's the wheel, here's the ropes that will allow you to raise and lower the sail, and behind them is the rope that will allow you to angle the sails. And right on the middle here is the anchor. Now heading down a bit lower, you'll see the map here. You'll see the table where you can propose your voyages here. And of course, this is where you store your guns and ammo. And on the very bottom deck, this is where you store your bananas, planks, your tankards here, and of course a variety of chests which you can use to customize your cosmetics. Alright, now we can start talking about sailing. Sailing actually isn't that complicated, but there are some basics we have to master, so let's go over them. First of all, you're going to want to raise the anchor. So go over to the anchor, press whatever key you have assigned to interact with objects, and start pushing forward. It's that simple. After that, go over to the wheel and turn the wheel so that you're facing the direction you want to go. Hopefully it's away from an island or a rock that you're directly in front of. After that, you're going to want to go over to the rope that raises and lowers the sail and lower your sail completely. The length of your sail is one of the two components that determines how fast your ship will go. By lowering your sail completely, you'll go as fast as possible. By raising your sail, you'll go slower, and if it's completely raised, you'll come to a complete halt eventually. After that, you're going to want to adjust the angle of your sail. The angle of your sail is the second component that determines how fast your ship will go. If your sail is going the same direction as the wind, then you'll see a little animation showing you that you're catching as much wind as possible and therefore going as fast as possible. If the wind's going completely against you, well, there's not much you can do except move like a snail, so sorry about that one. Now I know what you're thinking. How do I stop the boat? Alright, stopping is actually not that difficult. So, first option is to raise the sail completely and then you'll eventually come to a stop. Your second option is to drop the anchor. Dropping the anchor takes about 5 seconds once you actually press the drop button, and then once that hits the bottom of the ocean, your boat will stop completely and immediately. Alright, so what if you didn't stop correctly and you accidentally hit a rock or an island? Not that I've ever done that. But if you have, don't worry, it's an easy fix. Just go down to the lower part of your boat and you'll start seeing holes in your ship. You can take a plank from your inventory and then go over to it and click the repair button and hold it until the repair is done. Make sure you're also facing the same direction as you're repairing or else you'll stop repairing. Once you've repaired all the holes in your ship, you'll notice that there's still water in your ship. Take the bucket out of your inventory and scoop up the water. All you have to do is throw it outside of the boat, and then keep repeating that until all the water in your boat is gone. Problem solved. Easy peasy. Alright, now that you know all the basics on the sloop, we can start talking about the galleon. All the basics are the same, you just have more to worry about. So instead of there being one mast, there are now 3 masts. And instead of being 1 cannon on each side, there are now 4 cannons. So take what you know before and just apply it on a bigger scale. If you have more crew members, they should also be helping you out. So adjusting every sail to make sure it's the same direction as the wind, making sure all the sails are lowered, or raise them completely if you need to stop or slow down to make better turns. Now that we're talking about the galleon, we can also talk about dealing damage, because you can use the sloop for combat, but it's not recommended. You have a smaller crew and 1 cannon comparatively to a galleon's 4 cannons on each side. So, if you're on a galleon, and you're fighting another galleon, first of all, the obvious part is make sure your cannons are facing the other galleon. That means angling the ship to make sure that you're passing them on the side. Next, what you're going to want to do is aim the cannon at the bottom of their ship. right? Because a galleon takes water from bottom to top. So if you hit the second floor or the top floor of the galleon, they're actually not going to take any water, even if you put holes in their ship. You have to hit the very bottom. A good hit will look like the cannonball dipping just below the water before it hits their ship. That will ensure that you've hit the bottom of their ship and that they are now taking water and will have to repair the ship if they don't want to sink. Now that they're taking water, you should probably try to stop them from repairing, which means jumping on their ship, lowering the anchor is a good strategy, and trying to eliminate their crew members so that they can't repair the ship in time. Gunpowder barrels are also a great utility object to use. You can put them in the bottom of their ship and blow them up. It'll put 4 to 6 holes in their ship immediately, which will be extremely hard to repair. You may actually kill 1 or 2 people in the process too, but it's pretty hard to move them around, so make sure you have a plan so that you're covered when you're carrying the gunpowder barrel to their ship. Now I want to share with you a couple tips about turning. Because yes, you can just turn the wheel hard in one direction to turn, but there's a couple tricks that you can use to make it easier or a lot faster. First of all, to give yourself a tighter turning radius, especially if you're getting close to something that you don't want to hit, you can raise the sail. Raising the sail will slow down your boat and then make it easier for you to turn, giving you a tighter turning radius. You can then lower the sail once you're facing the direction you want to go. If you need to make an extremely sharp turn, like a 180 almost immediately, what you can do is turn the wheel hard left or right completely, and then lower the anchor. Once the anchor hits the bottom of the ocean, your ship will make a complete 180 almost if the wheel's turned in a certain direction. But remember, after you lower the anchor, your ship will stop moving. So if you're using this as a combat maneuver or trying to get away from somebody, remember to raise the anchor immediately after it hits the bottom of the ocean so that you can start moving again. If you're on a galleon, you're probably going to want to have 2 or 3 people raising the anchor because it's much slower to raise. Alright guys, well that's all the tips and tricks and beginner guide stuff I know and wanted to share with you. So thanks for watching. Now it's time to get your hands on the wheel and start sailing for yourself. Remember, it's going to take some time to get the basics down, so give yourself a little bit of leeway, but I'm sure you'll master it, and pretty quickly too, probably. Anyway, that's all I got. Thanks for watching, and remember, everything that we're fighting for in this game is all cosmetic, so even if you lose a lot of loot or get sunk or something like that, don't beat yourself up. Just enjoy the experience of it. Well, thanks again for watching, guys. Remember, keep it real, but not too real.